There are four gates through which your power escapes every day: your mouth, your mood, your money, and your mind. Most people spend their entire lives trying to control the world around them, yet they never learn to control these four forces within themselves. They want others to behave differently. They want circumstances to become easier. They want success to arrive faster. They want life to remove every obstacle from their path. But the disciplined person understands a deeper truth. Before you can lead your life, you must first learn to lead yourself. Your mouth can destroy in seconds what your hands spent years building. Your mood can turn a small inconvenience into an entire day of suffering. Your money can either create freedom or become the chain that keeps you trapped. Your mind can become your greatest servant or your most dangerous master. These four areas are connected. When one becomes uncontrolled, the others begin to weaken. When your mind is restless, your mood becomes unstable. When your mood is unstable, your mouth speaks carelessly. When your mouth speaks carelessly, relationships and opportunities are damaged. When your emotions control your spending, your money disappears. Then financial pressure enters your mind. Your mood becomes darker, and the cycle begins again. The solution is not to fight the world. The solution is to interrupt the cycle within yourself. Control your mouth, not because you are afraid to speak, but because your words carry consequences. Every word you release enters the world and begins to create something. It may create trust or suspicion. It may create peace or conflict. It may strengthen someone or leave a wound that remains long after the conversation has ended. People often say, "Why was only angry," as if anger removes responsibility. But anger does not speak by itself. It uses your mouth. It borrows your voice. It wears your face. And when the damage is done, you must live with the consequences. A disciplined person does not say everything that enters the mind. This is not weakness. This is mastery. A weak person is pushed by every emotion and pushed by every thought. A strong person can feel an impulse without obeying it. They can hear an insult without immediately returning one. They can know a secret without spreading it. They can possess knowledge without using it to make others feel small. They can disagree without becoming disrespectful. Silence is not always emptiness. Sometimes silence is intelligence waiting for emotion to leave the room. Sometimes silence is the space in which wisdom prepares its answer. When you react immediately, you usually respond from your wound, your pride, your fear, or your desire to win. When you pause, you give your higher nature an opportunity to speak. Before you speak, ask yourself, is it true? Is it necessary? Is it useful? Is this the right moment? Am I speaking to solve the problem? Or am I speaking only to release the pressure inside me? Many people do not communicate, they discharge emotion. They throw their frustration onto another person and call it honesty. But honesty without awareness becomes cruelty. Truth without compassion becomes a weapon. Discipline teaches you that you can be honest without being destructive. You can be firm without being insulting. You can set boundaries without creating unnecessary enemies. Do not allow gossip to become your entertainment. When you constantly discuss the weaknesses of others, you train your mind to search for weakness everywhere. Slowly, you become unable to appreciate people. You enter every room looking for flaws. You become suspicious, negative, and emotionally heavy. Gossip may make you feel connected for a few minutes, but it weakens your character. The person who brings you another person's secrets will eventually carry your secrets somewhere else. Control your promises as carefully as you control your criticism. Do not say, "We'll do it," simply because you want to look reliable in the moment. Every promise creates an expectation. Every broken expectation reduces trust. Speak less, but make your words dependable. Let people learn that when you say yes, you mean yes, and when you say yes, and when you say none. Your reputation is built through this consistency. There is also a voice you must control that no one else can hear. The voice with which you speak to yourself. Some people would never speak to another human being as harshly as they speak to themselves. They repeat, "I am useless. I always fail. Nothing works for me." Then they wonder why their confidence disappears. Your inner language becomes the atmosphere of your mind. If you poison that atmosphere daily, even success will not feel peaceful. Do not lie to yourself with empty praise, but do not destroy yourself with unnecessary condemnation. Speak inwardly with accuracy. Instead of saying, I am a failure. Say, why failed in this attempt? And now I must understand why. Instead of saying, I cannot do this, say, I cannot do this yet. One sentence closes the door. The other keeps the path open. Control your mouth, and you begin to control your relationships. Control your relationships, and you protect your peace. Protect your peace, and your mind becomes clearer. Then learn to control your mood. Your mood is a visitor, not a king. It may enter your house, but it must not be allowed to rule it. You will not wake up every morning feeling motivated. You will not always feel confident, energetic, or inspired. Some days your body will feel heavy. Some days your plans will fail. Some days another person's behavior will disturb you. If your actions depend entirely on how you feel, your life will become unstable. The undisciplined person asks, what do I feel like doing today? The disciplined person asks, what must be done today? This does not mean ignoring your emotions. It means listening to them without surrendering leadership. Emotions contain information, but they do not always contain instructions. Anger may tell you that a boundary has been crossed, but anger should not decide how you respond. Fear may tell you that there is risk, but fear should not always decide whether you move forward. Sadness may tell you that something has been lost, but sadness should not convince you that everything is lost. Anxiety may tell you that you are uncertain, but uncertainty does not mean disaster is coming. You cannot always prevent the first emotion from appearing, but you can train your response to it. The first wave may be automatic. The second wave is often created by the story you continue telling yourself. Someone ignores your message, and the first feeling is disappointment. Then the mind says, they do not respect me. Nobody values me. People always leave me. A small event becomes a large emotional storm because the mind keeps feeding it. Observe this process. Learn to separate the event from the interpretation. The event is what happened. The interpretation is what you told yourself about what happened. Suffering often grows in the distance between these two. When your mood becomes dark, do not immediately trust every thought it produces. A tired mind sees permanent problems. An angry mind sees enemies. A jealous mind sees injustice. A fearful mind sees danger everywhere. Wait until the water becomes still before you decide what lies at the bottom. Create rules for yourself during emotional storms. Do not send important messages while angry. Do not make permanent decisions during temporary despair. Do not end valuable relationships because of one difficult conversation. Do not spend money to escape sadness. Do not reveal secrets simply because you feel betrayed. Do not use social media as a battlefield for emotions you have not understood. Your mood changes when your physical state changes. This is why discipline must include the body. Sleep affects your patience. Food affects your patience. Movement affects your mental clarity. Breathing affects your nervous system. Environment affects your attention. You may think you have a spiritual crisis when you are simply exhausted. You may believe your entire life is meaningless when you have spent days without rest, movement, sunlight, or silence. Return to the body. Breathe slowly. Walk without your phone. Drink water. Clean your room. Finish one small task. Reduce unnecessary stimulation. These actions may appear simple, but simplicity is often what the restless mind resists. It wants a dramatic solution because discipline feels too ordinary. Do not make your mood the responsibility of everyone around you. Many people enter a room carrying emotional chaos and expect others to organize it for them. They demand constant reassurance. They punish people with silence. They become rude and later say, that is just how I am when I am upset. But maturity means taking responsibility for the energy you bring into a space. You do not have to pretend to be happy. You do not have to hide pain. You may say, well, I am struggling today, so I need some quiet. This is honest and responsible. But there is a difference between expressing pain and spreading it. One invites understanding. The other creates more suffering. Your mood must not decide your standards. Train when you are not motivated. Work when you are not inspired. Remain respectful when you are irritated. Keep your word when it becomes inconvenient. This is how character is formed. Character is not revealed when everything feels easy. It is revealed when your feelings pull one way and your principles point in another. Control your mood, and you become reliable. People begin to trust your presence because they no longer have to fear which version of you will appear. You also begin to trust yourself. You learn that a bad morning does not have to become a bad day. A bad day does not have to become a bad week. A painful experience does not have to become your identity. Now control your money. Money is not merely paper, coins, or numbers on a screen. Money represents time, energy, choices, and stored effort. When you waste money carelessly, you are often wasting hours of your own life that you exchanged to earn it. When you manage money wisely, you are not worshiping wealth. You are respecting your labor and protecting your future. Many people say they want financial freedom, but their daily habits reveal that they want immediate pleasure more. They spend to impress people who are not thinking about them. They buy things to create an identity they have not developed internally. They use possessions to cover insecurity. They chase the appearance of success while quietly moving deeper into pressure. The disciplined person understands the difference between looking rich and becoming financially stable. Looking rich seeks attention. Stability seeks freedom. Looking rich buys the symbol. Stability builds the foundation. Looking rich asks, will people admire this? Stability asks, will this decision strengthen or weaken my future? It means enjoying it consciously. It means knowing what enters, what leaves, and why. It means giving every amount a direction instead of wondering where it disappeared. It means learning to delay a small pleasure so you can build a larger possibility. Before you buy something, pause. Ask whether you need the object or the feeling you believe the object will give you. Are you buying because it is useful or because you are bored? Are you buying because it is valuable or because you feel insecure? Are you buying because you planned for it or because someone else has it? Many purchases are emotional decisions wearing logical clothes. Be careful when your mood and your money meet. Sadness can become shopping. Stress can become impulsive ordering. Pride can become expensive display. Loneliness can become unnecessary generosity toward people who only stay while you are paying. Anger can lead to reckless decisions. Excitement can make a bad opportunity look like a guaranteed success. Never make financial decisions merely to prove something. You do not need to prove your value through a car, a watch, a house, a brand, or a holiday. There is nothing wrong with beautiful things, but beautiful things become dangerous when they are used to repair a wounded identity. What you own should serve your life. Your life should not become a servant to what you own. Learn the power of enough. Without a sense of enough, every achievement becomes temporary. You earn more, but your desires expand faster. You buy more, but your satisfaction becomes shorter. You compare yourself with people who have more and forget the millions who would consider your present life an answered prayer. Gratitude does not remove ambition. It prevents ambition from turning into endless hunger. Save before you spend. Build a space between yourself and crisis. Even a small emergency fund changes your psychology. It allows you to make decisions with less fear. Debt, on the other hand, can force your future self to pay for the impulses of your present self. Do not casually place burdens on the person you will become. Invest in skills before status. A skill can feed you for years. Status often requires continued spending simply to maintain an image. Knowledge can create new income. Appearance alone usually consumes it. Learn to solve valuable problems. Learn to communicate. Learn to sell ethically. Learn to manage your time. Learn to understand numbers. Learn to create something useful. Money tends to move toward value, trust, and competence. Be generous, but do not use generosity to purchase love. Help people, but do not destroy yourself to rescue those who refuse responsibility. There is a difference between compassion and enabling. Giving should come from clarity, not guilt, pressure, or the fear that people will leave you. Do not tell everyone what you earn. Do not announce every plan. Do not reveal every opportunity before it has become stable. Some things grow better in silence. Protect your financial goals from unnecessary opinions. Many people will advise you from their own fear, envy, or lack of experience. Listen carefully, but decide intelligently. Control your money. Control your money. Options give you breathing space. Breathing space allows you to choose work with dignity, leave harmful situations, support people you love, and face emergencies without collapsing. Money cannot create inner peace, but constant financial chaos can disturb it. Treat money as a tool. Use it. Direct it. Never allow it to become your identity. Finally, control your mind, because your mind influences all the others. The mouth speaks what the mind repeats. The mood follows the meaning the mind creates. Money is spent according to the desires and fears the mind carries. If the mind is uncontrolled, every area of life becomes vulnerable. The mind is a powerful instrument, but an untrained instrument creates noise. It jumps from memory to imagination, from regret to fear, from comparison to fashion to fancy. It rarely remains where life is actually happening. The body sits in one place, while the mind travels through 100 problems. This is why a person can be physically safe yet mentally exhausted. You must learn to observe your thoughts without believing all of them. A thought is not a command. A thought is not always a fact. A thought may simply be an old fear repeating itself. It may be a memory wearing a new face. It may be the result of exhaustion, comparison, or constant exposure to negative information. Stand behind the thought and look at it. Ask, is this true? Is this useful? Is this within my control? What evidence supports it? What action does it require? When you question thoughts, they lose some of their authority. When you obey them automatically, they become stronger. Your attention is one of your greatest forms of wealth. Wherever attention goes, energy follows. Modern life is designed to steal this attention in small pieces. Notifications, videos, arguments, advertisements, endless scrolling, and constant news enter your mind all day. Then you try to focus on your purpose and wonder why your mind cannot remain still. A distracted mind is easier to control from the outside. When you cannot direct your attention, someone else will direct it for you. Companies will direct it toward products. Social media will direct it toward comparison. News cycles will direct it toward fear and outrage. Other people will direct it toward their drama. Soon your mind is full, but your life remains empty. Create periods in which no one can reach your attention. Sit in silence. Read slowly. Work on one task. Leave your phone in another room. Do not fill every empty moment with stimulation. Boredom is not always an enemy. Sometimes boredom is the doorway through which deeper thought returns. Train concentration as you train a muscle. Begin with small periods. 10 minutes of complete focus is better than 1 hour of divided attention. When the mind wanders, bring it back without anger. Every return is a repetition. Every repetition builds strength. Do not become addicted to motivation. Motivation can open the door, but it cannot carry you through every difficult season. There will be days when no speech moves you, no quote inspires you, and no vision feels powerful. On those days, discipline must take the next step. Discipline is remembering what you want most when something easier offers immediate comfort. It is choosing the long-term result over the short-term feeling. It is doing the work before the reward is visible. It is staying on the path when applause disappears. Control your mind by choosing what you repeatedly consume. Mental food shapes mental health. If you spend hours watching conflict, humiliation, luxury, scandal, and fear, do not be surprised when your mind becomes angry, insecure, dissatisfied, and anxious. The mind absorbs patterns. What you repeatedly see begins to feel normal. What feels normal begins to influence your choices. Protect the first moments of your morning. Do not allow the world to enter your mind before you have entered it yourself. Before checking messages, remember your direction. Breathe, stretch, pray, reflect, meditate, or write. Decide what matters today. A morning without intention easily becomes a day controlled by interruption. Protect the final moments of your night as well. Do not carry the entire internet into your sleep. Give your mind time to become quiet. Review the day without attacking yourself. Ask what you did well, where you lost control, and what must change tomorrow. Progress requires honest reflection, not self-hatred. Stop replaying conversations that have already ended. The mind often returns to old moments, creating better answers and imagining different outcomes. But no amount of mental repetition can change what has passed. Learn the lesson, make the repair if possible, and release the scene. You cannot build the present while constantly living in yesterday's room. Do not allow the future to terrorize you either. Preparation is useful. Endless worry is not. Preparation asks, what can I do? Worry asks the same question repeatedly but refuses to act. When the mind becomes overwhelmed by the entire journey, return to the next step. You do not need the strength for the whole year today. You need the strength for today's responsibility. Control comparison. There will always be someone ahead of you in money, beauty, influence, intelligence, status, or achievement. If your peace depends on being above everyone, peace will remain impossible. Comparison turns another person's success into evidence of your failure. But their path is not your measurement. Compare yourself with the person you were yesterday. Are you more disciplined, more honest, more patient, more skilled, more aware? Your true competition is the part of you that wants comfort without responsibility, results without effort, respect without character, and freedom without self-control. Do not confuse confidence with noise. The strongest mind does not always need to announce itself. It does not argue with every critic. It does not chase validation from every room. It knows that a tree with deep roots does not move simply because the wind has an opinion. You will be misunderstood. You will be doubted. Some people will see your discipline as pride because your boundaries no longer serve their convenience. Some will call you distant because you stopped participating in chaos. Some will say you have changed. They may be correct. Growth requires change. Let your results speak slowly. You do not need to explain every decision. You do not need everyone to understand your path. The need to be understood by all people is another form of dependence. Walk with humility, but do not abandon your direction merely because someone else cannot see the destination. Control your mouth when provoked. Control your mood when disappointed. Control your money when tempted. Control your mind when distracted. These are not 4 separate battles. They are 4 parts of one practice, self-mastery. Imagine how your life changes when these 4 forces become disciplined. Your words become clear and trustworthy. Your emotional state no longer controls the atmosphere around you. Your money begins to build stability instead of temporary appearances. Your mind becomes focused enough to recognize opportunities and strong enough to endure difficulty. But do not expect immediate perfection. The mind has followed old patterns for years. The mouth has learned to react. The mood has learned to command. Spending has learned to soothe discomfort. These patterns will resist change. You may succeed today and fail tomorrow. Do not use one failure as permission to return to unconscious living. Notice the failure, study it. What triggered you? What did you feel? What story did you believe? What action followed? What consequence appeared? This awareness transforms failure into instruction. Without awareness, you repeat the pattern. With awareness, you begin to weaken it. Self-control is not built through one grand decision. It is built through small moments that no one applauds. It is built when you delete the angry message. It is built when you close the shopping app. It is built when you continue working after motivation disappears. It is built when you remain silent instead of joining gossip. It is built when you wake up and keep your promise to yourself. Every time you refuse an unhealthy impulse, you are casting a vote for the person you want to become. Every time you obey discipline, that identity becomes stronger. Eventually, what once required great effort becomes part of your nature. Do not say, "This is simply who I am." That sentence has imprisoned many people. You are not required to remain loyal to habits that are destroying your future. You are not your anger. You are not your anger. You are not your impulsiveness. You are not your debt. You are not your distraction. These are patterns, and patterns can be changed through practice. The person who masters the mouth does not become silent forever. They speak with purpose. The person who masters the mood does not become emotionless. They feel deeply without becoming a prisoner of feeling. The person who masters money does not become greedy. They use resources wisely and generously. The person who masters the mind does not stop thinking. They learn which thoughts deserve attention. This is true freedom. Freedom is not doing everything you feel like doing. That is slavery to impulse. Freedom is having the power to choose what serves your values, even when another option is louder, easier, or more pleasurable. A river without boundaries becomes a flood. A river with direction can generate power. Your energy is the same. Boundaries do not weaken you. They give your strength a direction. So begin where you are. Today, speak one unnecessary sentence less. Delay one emotional reaction. Save one amount you would normally waste. Remove one distraction from your environment. These actions may appear small, but a disciplined life is nothing more than small, correct actions repeated until they become powerful. When anger rises, breathe before speaking. When sadness arrives, care for yourself without abandoning your responsibilities. When money enters your hands, give it direction before desire gives it one. When your mind wanders, return it to the task in front of you. Do not ask for an easier life. Build a steadier character. An easy life can still destroy an undisciplined person. A difficult life can strengthen a disciplined one. Circumstances matter, but your response determines what those circumstances create within you. There will be moments when you want to return to your old ways because growth feels lonely. Remember that the old version of you produced the problems you are now trying to escape. You cannot carry every old habit into a new life. Release the need to react to everything. Release the need to buy everything. Release the need to feel good before taking action. Release the need to follow every thought. You are the observer, the decision maker, and the guardian at the gate. Your mouth is a gate. Decide which words may leave. Your mood is a wave. Learn to stand until it passes. Your money is a tool. Give it a worthy purpose. Your mind is a garden. Choose carefully what you plant, water, and allow to grow. One day, people may look at your calmness and believe your life has always been peaceful. They will not see the battles you fought in silence. They will not see the messages you chose not to send, the temptations you walked away from, the money you saved, the distractions you removed, or the mornings you continued despite having no motivation. But you will know. You will know that your peace was trained. Your stability was built. Your confidence was earned. Your freedom was created through thousands of disciplined choices. The world will continue to test your mouth with provocation, your mood with disappointment, your money with temptation, and your mind with distraction. The tests will not disappear, but you will no longer meet them as the person you once were. You will meet them with awareness. You will meet them with patience. You will meet them with discipline. And when you can govern what happens within you, what happens around you will no longer have the same power to control your life.